Hey there, you guys. So, you know, doing okay. Did not read as much as I wanted this month. Um, we had a little bit of a kitten incident at the beginning of the month. One of our kittens fell off of a second floor ledge and broke his leg. And then with where our cats were at with fixing and stuff, our female cat needed some one-on-one guidance. So the month of July kind of crumpled a little bit and I lost all motivation to read. Definitely could have at certain times, but it just wasn't something that I felt like doing. It just didn't happen. So I did read 2 books this month. So in this, obviously you can tell from the title of the video, I'm going to do a quick wrap up. And then I did get quite a few books this month because I did go to Frankenmuth. I didn't end up vlogging while I was there. It just kind of slipped my mind. And yeah, so I'm going to go over the 2 books that I read first, and then I'm going to briefly go through all the books that I got. I'm not really going to give a great synopsis on them. If you'd like to know what they are about, if they look interesting to you, go ahead and look them up. I am really bad at giving a brief description of a book, so I'm just not going to. And then as I start buying books here now, again, hopefully not in this large amount as I have been the last few months, because my TBR number is still higher than I want it to be. The difference is now though is that I'm buying books that I'm super interested in versus the like trendy books that I was buying at the beginning when I first started my channel. So the books that I'm getting, I'm really interested in reading. So they hopefully won't sit on my shelf for months, but we'll see. But yeah, so I'll just go through briefly the 2 books that I read and then get into my haul because I have like I have 11 books to haul today because I got a lot over the last month and a half. So first off, I read Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer, volume 1. This is the first in a duology that Marissa Meyer wrote that has Aiko as the head of the story. Super awesome to delve back into the Lunar Chronicles world. I was just talking to Kat about the fact that I really want to reread the series. So there's that, and this was really good. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because it was just so much fun and definitely a good graphic novel story because you kind of get to start to see some of the characters that we've only envisioned for like in our brains for so long, and it's kind of a blue and gray, blue and white and gray kind of color tone, which is really nice because sometimes the full color graphic novels that are set in a universe I don't really like as much. So it being in kind of the neutral tones actually kind of helped me enjoy the book a little bit more than I might have before. And what's super cool about these graphic novels is, so this is the dust jacket, but it's the exact same cover underneath. So even if I were to want to get rid of the dust jacket or lose the dust jacket or the dust jacket gets ruined, it is the same hardcover underneath, which is cool. So yeah, this is a 5 out of 5 star read for me. And then I also got to Quidditch Through the Ages by Kennel-Worthy Wisp by J.K. Rowling. It's the one of the 3 Hogwarts library books. It was okay. It was kind of a weird read, reading something that was like a textbook in the Harry Potter universe. Definitely a fun read to kind of skim through like what Quidditch is and how it started and all those things. But definitely different, like a different book than, not that I was expecting, but a different book than like you normally would read. But yeah, so definitely a cute read. I think I gave it a 3 or a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. But and is definitely just a book to a collector's edition kind of thing. So now to get into the books that I've gotten, I will first go through, I think all of them. I'll go through these all first. Yes. Okay. So the 4 books I have in front of me are books that I got either at the store or a couple of them I got when I went to Barnes & Noble a little over a month ago. And then I'll get into the books that I've gotten in the last week and then the ones that I got in Frankenmuth. So the first book that I finally picked up is 5 Feet Apart by Raquel Lippincott. This is the book that the movie 5 Feet Apart is based off of, and I've been wanting to get this book for a long time, specifically in this cover, because I just love this cover. I think it's beautiful. I didn't actually look to see. It's just a simple like a dark grayish blue. It is a movie that when I saw it in theaters, I was sobbing. So I am really interested to read the book to see what's different, what's better, what's worse. And so I've been meaning to pick this up for a long time, and I just saw it on the shelf and I thought, why not just pick it up now and have it in my collection. The next 3 books I picked up when I was at Barnes & Noble. So, and again, I'm not good at giving synopsises, so I'm not going to. But the 3 books I picked up were Talk Bookish to Me by Kate Bromley. This is a romantic comedy book. I picked up Anne of Manhattan, which is kind of a modern retelling of Anne of Green Gables, which, as you know, is one of my all-time favorite books. Again, need to add that to my reread list for the next little bit. So it's a modern adaptation of that. And then I also got The Road Trip, which is another romantic comedy kind of romance book. So again, not good at giving synopses. I will, when they eventually end up in a TBR, I will give a better synopsis at that point when there's less books to talk about. The next book I'll show off real quick is the book that I picked up in the last little bit, and it is Wires and Nerve Volume 2 of the duology. I am actually reading this currently, and it will be in my next month's wrap-up video. But yeah, so I'm currently reading this, but this is one of the books I just picked up recently because I finished the first one and just thought I would pick up the second one right away. And then the next 6 books I picked up while I was in Frankenmuth. So first I will go through the books that I picked up at the used bookstore. Actually, I only got 1 book at the used bookstore, which is normally a lot more. And then I picked up 5 books at the kind of book outlet-esque. It's called Book Warehouse, but it's kind of like Book Outlet, but it's just in person, where it's kind of an overhaul of newer books, but not brand new releases per se. It's a lot of like 3rd or 4th in the series, and definitely kind of you have to hunt to find books. And so they aren't the most popular books. These are books I'd never heard of, and they just sounded super interesting. So the first book I picked up at the used bookstore was 9 Days and 9 Nights by Katie Cotugno. This is the sequel to 99 Days, which Katie Cotugno wrote How to Love. So I don't know if I need to read 99 Days before I read this book, but I picked it up because it was super cheap and just kind of seemed like a fun read. I did read the back, so I'm kind of spoiled for the first book if this is a true sequel and I need to have read the first book. But it being a romance sequel, it might be same. I might just miss out on some specific details if I don't read the first book, but we'll see. I'll do a little bit more research before I get into that. And then I picked up Summer Hours at the Robbers Library by Sue Halperin. This drew my eye because it takes place in a library, and then the synopsis seemed super interesting, so looking forward to getting to that. The next book is Forged in Fire and Stars by Andrea Robertson. This one caught my eye because it's different, and I haven't read a fantasy in a long time, especially kind of a little bit of a darker fantasy. So I'm really interested to get to this. I haven't looked at the It's again just a simple. I was curious to see if it would be a more intriguing cover. But yeah, so I'm super excited to get into this. It just kind of seemed like a different read versus what I've been reading recently. The next one's right up my alley. It's called That Inevitable Victorian Thing. So it's about a descendant of Queen Victoria and kind of that sort of thing. So it's definitely up my alley. And just look at the back too with all the phrase and quotes and stuff. And I love the edge of it too. It's just kind of a more Victorian classical kind of type to a book, which is cool. And then the last book I picked up is Once Upon a Sunset by Tiff Marcello. And then this was just another kind of romance novel. Again, not good at giving synopses, but it's kind of a romance adventure novel, it kind of seems like. Or it could just be an adventure novel. I have no idea, but those are that. So that is all of the things, books I've gotten recently and the books I read this month. So I did read 2, but I got 11. So I don't know where the line is in that one. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try to start probably next month. At the end of every wrap-up, I want to give an update on where my TBR number is at, so that I can kind of keep that flowing and so that it's also common in my brain. I know that I'm now back over 100, which is sad, but at the same time, I've gotten a lot of, that number rising is because I've gotten a lot of cool books recently. So it's kind of, it's that trade-off where I'm getting a lot of books that I'm excited about reading, but also that number's going up. So hopefully over the next few months, I'm able to get back into the swing of reading and bring that number back down, and hopefully crank out a bunch of books in a month because I'm excited about them. So we will see. It's going to be an interesting start to the school year, I think, because I go back to work in 2 weeks, but we'll see. So anyway, that is it for this video today, guys, and I'll see you guys all soon.